To make computers easier to use and learn, designers of early visually oriented interfaces adopted metaphors, which are analogies between features of the user interface and aspects of physical reality that users are familiar with. Metaphors are still widely applied to user interface design. For example, for a desktop, the description for this is organizing visual display into distinct regions with a large empty workspace in the middle of a collection of tool icons around the perimeter. So an example of this is at computer startup, a Windows user sees a desktop with icons for a clock, calendar, notepad, inbox, and sticky notes. So those are the computer interface version of a physical post-it note. For a document, so that is a metaphor for a visually representing the data in files as paper pages or forms. These pages can be linked together by references or hyperlinks. So an example for that is when the user fills in a form field for a product he or she owns and the manufacturer's website finds and displays and products manual as an Adobe Acrobat file, which contains a hyperlink table of contents and embedded links to related documents. So this figure is a screen capture of a computer running Windows that illustrates the direct manipulation, desktop, and document metaphors. The entire display is visually similar to the surface of a physical desktop. Icons and pictures for commonly used tools are located on the left and right side. The icons can be directly manipulated with a mouse or another pointing device. The windows is the center frame. In the certain frame are documents that are visually similar to paper pages laid on the surface of a desk. The direct manipulation, desktop, and document metaphors emphasize displayed objects with which the user interacts. The dialogue metaphor emphasizes the communication that occurs between the user and a computer, conceptualized as a conversation. In a conversation, a dialogue between two persons or two people, each person listens and responds to questions and comments from the other person, with the information being exchanged in a sequence. The dialogue metaphor is another way of thinking about human-computer interaction because the computer listens to and responds to user questions and comments, and the user listens to and responds to the computer's questions and comments. The dialogue metaphor can be implemented in various ways in user interfaces. A direct approach uses speech generation or recognition over a voice communication channel, as commonly encountered when calling the customer support number of a large company. Another implementation of the dialogue metaphor uses questions or instructions displayed by a user through text and responses as well as counter questions displayed by the computer through text. To minimize the need for user typing, responses to computer questions might be limited to a specific set of possibilities displayed to the user in the form of a list.